It wasn't. It was simply just cook, prepare, and deliver was what our model was. Yeah. And as we started to realize there was more people that wanted to order our product, they wanted to be able to taste it and try it, but they didn't want to either A, order it online, or B, we didn't have the resources to deliver to them because of where they were located. So, you know, we had a couple good local business owners in the area, and I have to always give a shout out to Joe Petro with Hair of the Dog, because he was the #1 go-to for just bouncing ideas off of and supporting us. And he was buying food at the time, and he says, why don't we just have my place be a pickup location for customers outside of our area? So he was our first Spoutlet, and that's where it kind of started to snowball. You know, so people that lived outside of the area, and we couldn't deliver to them, but we wanted a mutual place for them to come in. So if they were coming into town, they can pick up our food, they can go to his shop, and it was kind of a good meeting point. And so the Spoutletts started to develop in different areas, and people would come to us asking to become a Spoutlet because they just wanted to offer another good service to their clients. And it just kind of evolved from there. And now this is where I'm standing, the new Spoutlet. You can call it cafe, you can call it grab and go, you can call it Sprout HQ, whatever you want to call it, but this is where our home is going to be. So behind me, behind the wall, is the large production kitchen where we do all of our testing and all of our new products and things of that nature. And then we'll stock the shelves, we'll stock our counters, and then we'll stock fridges by delivery. When you mentioned that you can't buy bottled water here, we have a water fill station. You know, bring your own water bottle and fill up for free, because by all means, you know, hydration's important. I'm not gonna charge you for it. We actually work hand in hand with Night Kitchen Coffee, Taylor out of Denton, and he is just phenomenal. And so I was driving him crazy because I was trying to find the right places to source our coffee beans from. You know, and so he was educating me on what's called micro lots, and micro lots are, in essence, the same concept as finding a small local farmer in Talbot County. So we were finding these micro lots in Mexico, in Honduras, in Guatemala, Ethiopia, El Salvador, and we're finding these tiny micro lots where we're buying directly from a farmer. And he's getting us these coffee beans and then roasting them for us that day, and then we're able to sell it here. And so our coffee selections are going to be changing just like our food selections based on what we can buy from these micro lots. Because these micro lots will say, hey, we can only supply you with 100 pounds of coffee every 6 months. Okay, well, we'll take that and we're going to go to another lot. And we'll take that and we'll kind of, so we're doing the same concept with our coffee as we are with our food. We make our bread with 4 simple ingredients. We're not adding all the processed stuff, but it allows us to do something that's artisanal, that we don't necessarily want somebody eating on a regular basis. So the loaves we make are very small and individual. So they can come in and they can treat themselves to a small, you know, cranberry, walnut, apple loaf that's seasonal, and say, hey, I got that from Sprout, but they're only doing it for the next 6 weeks, and then that's it. They're switching to something else. So breads are just a value-added product that we can have for the retail only, that's exclusive, so it's not necessarily something that's delivered. You know, we'll be making beet lemonades and corn lemonades and different types of mint tea, and just whatever the chefs decide to make that week.
How many employees do you have now?
We now have 11. Last time we did this interview, we had 0. So 11, not including my wife and I, because we were unpaid. I would say we're volunteers now. We're still unpaid. So, but it's 11 plus my wife and I, and now our 3-year-old. Which last time we did this interview, she was like, what, 6 months old?
Oh yeah.
So she's great. She's a good taste tester. She makes sure all the chocolate is where it's supposed to be. She tries all of our dried fruits and breads, and she loves to taste the peanut butter we make. And you know, she's a good helper with Doug in the baking area, so she does a great job.
Well, I hope you'll